Yeah, I'm live here. Yeah. Okay. Well, that last little clip, I got the audio working, so I don't know what happened the other day. I had a 2 hour bullshit session. The audio wasn't playing. I'll try it again. But anyhow, today's Wednesday, the 26th of January, 2022. Yeah, watch the news. It's pretty negative, but it says Biden is not going to go against Russia. Because that's good news, I guess. Let's see what happens. I was going back yesterday to 1953 Korea. The Marines went over there. It's like, what, 15 below? How long can you stand in that? Anyhow, I showed pictures of they got frostbite. No boots. I don't know how that happened, but I don't know if their uniforms were winterized. They got shit out now that the heating caps and hand warmers. They got all kinds of uh, what do you call it? Like not chemicals, but what do you call it? I can't think. Anyhow, it makes stuff to keep you warm or whatever, or cool, and that helps. But anyhow, that was they don't use the word retreat, but they didn't. They got cornered on that Chosen Lake. So when at the Kim Un whatever, uh, they started nuclear testing and all that. So I went back and I looked at Korean War. It's not too many Korean veterans anymore. At the truck stops out, we had a hat, veteran of Army, Navy, or whatever, Marines, and these guys are so friggin' young. I don't even, I just say how you doing. I was from the Vietnam era. I didn't go, but I went to college for a couple of years. The lottery, I got a high number. I don't know. I didn't have to go, but my two brothers, I lost my brother in 1959 in the Navy. He was a pilot and training another guy that crashed. And kind of was 10. I'm the baby of the family. It doesn't pay to try too hard to do everything right. You got married and all that. And 25, he crashed. That was the end of his life. So that was one of the things where I bump heads with society. I don't try that hard, but then too, I'm fairly intelligent. I'm pretty intelligent, and I don't believe in hard work's good for you. Don't get me wrong. Physical hard work, you gotta do it. I like the way mechanics. You're wrenching on something that you're lifting heavy stuff or whatever, but you get your car running or you tuned it up. That's what I like to do. Mechanics. That's what I like. I see some guys in a truck stop. They're all booked out. Jesus Christ, I'm 5'10", 5'11". I'm eating pretty good. I'm about 180. And these younger guys, my God, I don't know what's up with all that. They're like on steroids or something. And I don't like talking to people like that. I believe that self discipline to keep yourself in shape, reasonable. I got my ex and a lady friend that they used to be two fine motherfuckers when they was like 18 or 19, and look at them now, 3 kids and 6 kids, and man, pushing 300 pounds, man. It's like, God bless them, but I was looking at Megan Kelly, what, Sunday, I think, and she had Goldie Hawn on. Goldie Hawn's, what, 76? fit as a fiddle. And guy Jack LaLanne, he used to work out. I ran over here in El Paso about 15 years ago when I came back with my elementary school physical PE teacher, PE coach. I was at the bank and he was in front of me. I started bullshitting with him, and just got back to El Paso. What elementary school did you go to? I says, Alta Vista. He goes, well, I was a physical ed teacher over there back in the 50s. I go, Herrera, a name just stuck in my mind. He was do the jumping jacks and all that. They were getting into isometrics where you just, you exert. I forget how to do it. Like you're pushing on here, just push. You don't have to run around or do push-ups and all. Just this pushing against, like your one arm against the other, or pushing against the wall. That will tone up your muscles and all. You don't have to run to the gym and pay all kinds of money. That's. I just went for a nice walk. It was about 12 blocks. I'm up. I was doing 4 blocks and 4 blocks. Shit, didn't feel like doing that, but I feel better. I got my truck running good. I started making money, and that helps a lot. That helps a lot. Um, little by little. And then Jesus, when I was young, well, you're full of energy. I lost that energy, but I got to tell myself to make myself do it. Tell myself to do it for my own good. Gets the blood circulating. My parents always used to walk, and my brother, he was jogging, but the excuse me, the cholesterol got him. I think he was in Phoenix 50 years. I'm coughing because of the cigarette, so it's not COVID, but he likes to get up at 5 o'clock. I'm with my girlfriend and my ex when we're in Phoenix, and comes into the room with his 60th birthday or something. It was years ago, and he says, "Hey, you want to go jogging? It's 5 o'clock in the morning, motherfucker." Get up about 9 o'clock and have a cup of coffee or something, cigarette, talk shit, I'll go jogging, motherfucker. But that's him. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. I told him, hey, once you smoke a cig, he's in such a fucking rush. I said, he's an old guy. He was in good shape, but once you smoke a cigarette, we'll call it, get a couple of escorts over, relax. You just got a divorce and shit. Oh no, that's all right. He's over at my parents' house, and I was going to give him a ride, but I got my disabled son. I got to dress him and warm up the old Cadillac and all that shit. Just about 10 blocks away, 12 blocks away. But well, I lived in L.A. and they had a song back in the '80s. Nobody walks in L.A. And I swear to God, that's true, man. Everything's so far apart. You got, can you give me a ride over here? New York, we used to walk. They give me a walk and talk. I get a little jug, and my buddy's going over to see this other guy or something. He says, "Hey, Vic, hey, give me a walk over here." Sure, man. Hey, you walk 2, 3, 4 blocks. Let's go over to the park. It's about 2 blocks over. You walk. Hey, man, let's walk over, get a slice of pizza, and you walk, and come back. All right. But yeah, I was a runner down Wall Street, man. I was walking from one building to the other, stocks and bonds, legal papers, and all that shit. You're walking, 6 blocks, 10 blocks, and come back to the office and all that. Walking 5 or 10 miles a night. I'd hitchhike up to Massachusetts on the weekends, up to Cape Cod, and walking, hitching, and hiking. People pick you up quick. Drinking, smoking cigarettes, bullshit. But I was in good shape. That's one reason I never got beat. I only got beat think once or twice in New York when I was on the streets fighting and all that shit. I was in good shape, even drunk, even drunk. So I'm just putting that out there because I mean, guys get in front of you. These guys on television. And, well, I've been training since I was 2 years old, and now I'm 30, and I don't drink, I don't smoke. I was watching Oscar De La Hoya from 2 years ago with Mayweather because I guess he got into coke a little bit and then went to rehab or whatever. I'm looking at him. I mean, he's from East LA. He's a young guy. You know, some people don't fool around, and you know, when you got that big money, that coke is, you know, that shit's there, man. Drinking and drugging and the women and all that, music, dancing, shooting, killing, you know, the whole 9 yards. So, uh, but he got off, thank God, and he looked pretty good. He was 34. Uh, I'm looking at Brady, and I'm saying it out loud because, but I mean, it's not for everyone. Michael Irvin, he was like my hero. Him and Jerry Rice. And he was on crack. He got off, but I think he had Jerry Rice beat. You know, for whatever. You know, you're not supposed to use steroids or drugs or anything. Just a natural ability and all that. But you know, the guy's still in good shape. He's an announcer, making money. You know, whatever. Emmett Smith. Well, that guy don't stop, man. I think he was selling real estate or something. Went to the Cardinals and got a lovely wife and looked like a great guy. But Emmett, I think he's like into God and doesn't really, you know, some people, they get me, they have a drink now and then or on occasion. Shit, I got caught up in it, and it's like my brain said I had to have it. I was watching this rehab show in Florida, maybe from 6 months ago or something, and there was a couple of dope fiends there, and the guy was about 20. I think he was 27, and the girl, Jesus Christ, she was about 18 or 19, shooting up some dope. You know, and I sat there and watched it because I used to shoot coke, but that needle thing, I've had I'm not going to call it a love affair, but I don't know why. Some people hate needles. I used to shoot up that. You're alone. You're trying to fight that horrible feeling of being alone. But all the time, the light switch is right there. You know, I found God, and recently I went to see my ex, and that it just doesn't. And then that lady friend I got in California, half the time I don't even enjoy talking to her. Nothing. But you got to talk to people. If I'm at the truck stop, everybody's in a rush. You know, I'll talk to one of the workers there for a few minutes, couple of minutes. They're busy. You know, maybe smoke a cigarette, have a McDonald's, have a sandwich or something. And nobody talks. They're busy. They work, but I can't see. I've worked all my life. And I started selling donuts when I was like 5, you know, door to door, newspaper route, worked at a cleaners. But once in a while, you get busy where you can't really talk. But I never had problem talking to someone while you're work for a few minutes. I mean, when you can't, if I see you walking this way, I say, how you doing? You know, at the truck stop, and you can't stop. Oh, I gotta go. I'm on the clock. I gotta. This is not the NBA, man. We're down to the last 2 seconds. You're a truck guy. You're sitting your bullshit, man. I was hitchhiking the 70, come out of LA, and this old timer picks me up and coming to El Paso, and these guys got a carton of I hitchhiked for a few years, and I got cartons of cigarettes, you know, Pall Malls, Camel, Lucky Strike, you know, unfiltered shit. Got drinking whiskey sometimes, you know, pills, da da da. And I had one guy tell me, he said, I was passed out, man. I was passing out. A guy banging on a console. Said, wake up, wake up. And I said, what the fuck, man? Yeah. He says, I he said he picked me up so that he'd have somebody to talk to him to keep him awake. He probably just needed a nap. But like, I'm listening to. I got inspired a little bit by Michael Francis and Sammy the Bull. They from Brooklyn. Michael's like a year younger than me, and Sammy's like 6 years older than me. I used to hang out with guys 20 years older, old Italian, whatever, Italians, Irish, whatever. Old timer, drink alcoholic. You know. I ended up hanging out with Rocky Graziano's brother, Lenny Barbello. He was, I'm like 30. He's like 52, 55, something like that. Got me going to church and shit. His brother was in the, I guess it was all mob infiltrated since the 30s or 40s of boxing. And, but like one of them was like Rudy Giuliani. His father was in prison. His brother owns a bar. They call him the enforcer. Like my brother. I didn't know my other brother too good, but they were do-gooders. And my sister, I can't even talk to her. She can do no wrong, And it's like, in reality, I don't say do what I did, or I think guys that went to Vietnam and seen combat killing and go to Hanoi or something, or they fuck some of the local women and drug. This guy's telling me in Fort Worth they got, what was it, $5 for forget what he told me, for some dope, some heroin, pure heroin for $5. He said you get like a couple of lids or something like that. I mean, it's what $60 for a snort. It was cheap. They're getting paid to be in the service. They get a check every month. Okay, so you witness real life and you develop. So I don't know how to get over to the youngsters, the young kids. One or two here and there. I love these guys. They could be my kids or my grandkids, but try to get them to. My dad was like he was disciplined, but he was also, when he laid back to sit and talk. Let's talk about the world. What's going about life. I went to Europe in 70, 71, 72, and I remember that the old timers. I don't know, when they went to Afghanistan, that withdrawal. I was seeing them. They reminded me. They got a little town, a little village, and the old man got a cappuccino, espresso, and a smoking, and maybe a hookah pipe or some shit. Like this. I don't think it's illegal in some parts, where they don't like send you to prison for the rest of your life because they caught you with a little bit of dope or something. But camaraderie, when you got somebody to talk to and all that. A little hot tea or something. You sit there. And we were doing that in Long Beach. A couple of us from the AA club. My buddies, kind of just seeing kid. It's a punk rock, but his grandpa was like a gangster or whatever. Anyhow, we went to a store to get it. You sit there. Those who smoke, you step outside, or you know, bullshit. Talking to some girls there that they were selling. this artwork, painting these kids. You know, I always wanted to do that, but and then the taste in music, we had a disconnect. I'm like Stones, Beatles, The Doors, like that. Hollywood back in the '60s. I used to run away and go up there. Iron Butterfly. These motherfuckers, I've never even heard of them. They got the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's the one I like. A couple of songs they do. I think they're great entertainers. They're kind of way out, but I like it. I look at that shit. Marilyn Manson, I get a ration of shit. Yeah, I like Marilyn Manson. I think he's creative in a way. I guess he just got hit with some sex charges or something. And he was abusive, whatever. But anyhow, we'd sit and bullshit, kill some time. None of us are rich, and if you got you still get bored. If you got a girlfriend, you run out of stuff to say. Drop my lighter over here. Yeah. So, what I was saying yesterday, I was watching Megyn Kelly and look at the five outnumbered and Gutfield and now Jesse Waters. These people remind me of people I went to school with. I'd already started drinking and using drugs in college. So that didn't help. I don't think. I have to think about that some more. I don't know. Anyhow, my nephew and that side of the family, they're all college, and I can't stand them. They're just not my kind of people. They're educated, they're clean, and they got brand new cars, a house, and a wife. And my nephew's almost a millionaire, whatever, lawyer. Fucking can't talk to these motherfuckers. It's forced to go get something to eat, like some tacos or coffee or something. The conversation is real restrained or whatever. So the people I talk to, they say, yeah, a lot of the truckers are out there because of woman problems. They can't get along. But there's some that got wife, kids, grandkids, and they take care of them, whatever. Going to college and the whole ball of wax, the whole 9 yards. So it depends. I ran I ran into one guy in Phoenix. About 10 years ago. We start talking, and he's smoking a cigarette. We start bullshit. Hey, jump up, man. We had a soda, some water, Pepsi, or something. Oh, we walked over there by the Triple T in Tucson. That's an old truck stop. He parked in the back, and I think somebody hit him or something. Anyhow, he says, hey, I was going to get a soda. He says, I drink, but I said, no, I don't. I'm clean and sober by the grace of God. But walk over to the Circle K right behind the parking lot. So he got a beer or two. We sitting. I think we were talking for about 3 or 4 hours. He starts drinking. I'm drinking a Pepsi or some Coke or something. And smoking a couple of cigarettes. We're talking. He was like a drug addict. And he says, "Let's go back to the store. I want to get some more to drink or something." So he goes. I guess he had time he didn't have to get up in the morning. I don't know. So now he goes. I think he bought two tall cans or something like that. And then he goes and buys some like whiskey or something. I said, "Oh shit, this guy's an alcoholic." I didn't say nothing, but I mean, you can't preach to them if they want to know if you're thinking about quitting. And they says, "Well, how did you stop and all that, or what did you do to quit drinking?" I'll help you, but if you're drinking and telling jokes and you're not even you're out on planet X, it don't even bother you. The guy, he might pass. He won't even remember what you said yesterday. It's like a lost cause at that time. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just trying to unwind. Like I was out 3.5 months driving a truck. Get to the home and I'm like, shit, I am beat, man. That's the most I worked this last 2 years. I did. That's the best I've done in my life. Now I'm going to tell you the truth. I've done my income tax and all that. I end up with 17th to maybe I'm up to 22,000 clear. It gets hot and heavy. It's like you're making. I just did my quarterly. I did one run from Alabama. I went up from El Paso to South Carolina, dropped down. It took me about 5 days. I got over to Huntsville, going to Spokane. And I made an invoice. That was $5,000. I said, "Oh, there you go, $5,000." Yeah. So then I hit a snowstorm, and I rested up for like 2 or 3 days, looking for loads coming back, light loads. Nah. So our son died. Me and my ex, our son died like 12 years ago. Her and her mama in Vegas. So I says, "Let me drop down. I'm going to get out of this fucking cold, man. It was miserable." So I dropped. I ended up heading 1,800 miles. It's fucking ridiculous, but that's what you do. Fuck, yeah. I didn't want to get stuck. I got an old truck, and I'm pretty much on top of it. But I was in Little Rock like what, about 10 days ago. I went to start the truck in the morning. Got a cold spell. It was like 79 degrees a couple of days before, and it dropped down to like 18 or something. And the wind was blowing, and I had gone up to Cheyenne, Wyoming, to Montana, and the wind was blowing 60 miles an hour or better, and it the wind ripped off my bumper. Is three pieces, the middle piece and each end piece ripped down. Pat, 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 pat. I said, "What the fuck is that?" Scared, man. That wind was blowing. I got a light load, like 5,000 pounds. This is that when it's blowing, that could the wind could blow you over. It's hitting the side of the van. You got no real weight to hold you down. So anyhow, I was parked at Little Rock, and the wind was hitting the direction I was parked. The wind is hitting directly on the air dryers down by right behind that piece that got blown off. So it was exceptionally cold, maybe 15 degrees with the wind chill. It was hitting that air dryer. So, long story short, the moisture takes the moisture out of the air lines. There's always a little moisture, and that little moisture adds up a little bit, and it got frozen. So these airlines are like the end of a ballpoint pen or something. They're just a tiny little hole. So you got a little bit of moisture, it freezes up, it blocks the hole, so the air can't get through there. Oh, the brakes don't want to release. And then sometimes the brakes on a trailer, they're exposed to the wind underneath. And you maybe try to rock it back and forth a couple of times at break. Uh, it'll loosen up. Or I put some air brake antifreeze in the airlines to little cap, one or two capfuls only. Uh, that melts the ice. Within a minute or two, you're okay. But I had to learn that. I was first time I was up in Idaho with my son. We got no fucking money, and you're taking you're a piece of shit. You're taking all the shit loads, and fucking if it wasn't zero up there, picking up some potatoes, or I dropped off some potatoes or some shit. First thing in the morning, my kid got to eat or have some juice or something. I got to get a coffee and go to move the truck. JB Hunt. You go, hurry up, man. Go pick up this load. It's fucking crazy. The fanatics. But you got to pay your dues. So I go to move, and one black guy told me, he says, keep the motor running all night, would cost you money. But you do that, and he says, release the trailer brake so that push that red knob on the dashboard. The air keeps circulating. He said, at least that air is a little bit warm to keep the brakes and the airline from freezing up. And I think I had done that when I first started, and I was kind of shocked in the morning. And I didn't know about air brake antifreeze. And the dispatcher, he was a real prick, but he told me, he says, hey, go in and don't you have a bottle of alcohol? That's the last thing on my mind, thinking about a bottle of alcohol. But I went in the store and I got one for like 79 cents. It was about 10 years ago. He says, pour a little couple of capfuls in the airline. So I did that, and it worked. It took me about I didn't know what I was doing. It took me half an hour freezing out, like about 15 degrees. But, I start to panic. I've been driving. I hitchhiked. I drove, me and my son drove cross country 10 times. And that's what I remember too. Didn't have much money. You got a 68 Caddy. That's a tank. And we're trying to find a cheaper place to live and all that. But I'm coming out of sunny Southern California, man, and you get used to that. When I was 20 and I left, started hitchhiking, I left with a long sleeve shirt. It's like 70, 68 at night or something. Take a long sleeve shirt, you go walk. I'm hitchhiking, trying to pick up girls or whatever, have them pick me up or whatever. No problem, a light jacket. When you get out there in the wintertime, you get back east or up north or something, it's a whole different story. I just bought a Carhartt. It's like $120 last year. I usually wear this mechanic's jacket. But what a difference. This ain't shit. You layer up, put your thermals on and all that. But that heavy jacket really does the trick. Because I caught pneumonia a couple of times. You're sitting dry, got an old truck, the wind's coming through. The door's a little loose. The air gets in there, the wind. And the wind, you're doing 60 miles an hour, and the wind's coming in and keeps hitting my shoulder. And I put that heavy jacket. I don't have that problem no more. It just bugs the hell out of you. And try to put some sealer in there and door sealer and all that shit, duct tape, you name it, blankets on the side over here, just stop that wind, survival, I lived on the streets, and then with my son, we traveled and got stuck in one snowstorm. We're leaving Oregon, going to Kansas, and hitting, I think it was Cheyenne or Laramie. This starts snowing as big, thick flakes, at about 8 o'clock at night. Mother of Jesus, you couldn't see nothing on the highway in about 10, 15 minutes, real quick. Well, luckily, I was just coming up. Thank God. I was just coming up to Laramie. I said, I got to get off here. I got my son with me. I can't play. And you slow way down. There's nobody on the road. I found the exit. There's a motel across the street. Most of the times we don't even stay in a motel, just stay in the car. But you got to shell out $40, $45. I called my buddy in L.A. That's when The Sopranos were first starting. He says, "Oh, you got to see this, The Sopranos." So I put it on. I had cable. Ordered a pizza or something. You could order stuff. So. And the next morning, I was going to park. I had a little trailer with me, and I got stuck on some ice. It turned the ice right away. and I had to play with that for. I was getting frustrated, man. You just, oh God, I don't want to be here. So he finished it up, went into the room. He's in a wheelchair. I got to put him in a wheelchair. I'm running out of steam. I'm tired and all that. It's freezing. Getting kind of wet from the snow. So anyhow, the next morning I go out. The sun's out. It's beautiful. You got a little bit of snow or whatever. It's still cold, but the sun helps and all that. And then the roads clear up. I don't like driving at night. I was driving the truck. I think I was south of Portland about 8 or 10 years ago. And starts snowing, that heavy snow, man. And like I say, in 10, 15 minutes, you can't see the center line. And over there is like mountains. It's curvy, winding road up and down. I don't want to put my chains on. You're wore out. I can't see the middle line. I says, I go into a panic, so I'm looking for a truck stop. I'm trying to keep going. There's a few people going, and this guy comes flying by me 65 miles an hour, 70 miles, Swift. Yeah. I'll get about another, again, thank God, about 5 or 7 miles, about another 10, 15, 20 minutes. The truck stop up there. Oh, thank God. I'm pulling off. Fuck it. I pull off and go park. Come inside to get a little coffee and use the restroom. And they sitting there, a good looking girl. I was bullshitting with her for a minute. So the guy, this older guy comes in and says, "Oh man, did you hear this guy down the road about 10 miles slid off the highway? Is that a Swift truck?" "Yeah, that's a Swift truck." I said, "Yeah, he just about 5 miles back, he come flying by me. You hope he's all right, huh?" It's 8, 9 o'clock at night. Now you got to call your dispatcher, the boss. You got to call a record if you're okay. You could kill yourself. You could fuck yourself up, man. Try it. If you could reach your phone, you call 911. Somebody gonna call because they'll see you, but if you got to get an ambulance, now they got to come out there in the snow and ice and recovery truck, tow truck. That's gonna be probably $500. It's just I quit talking to a lot of these guys. It just got to learn on their own at some point, or just pray that God lets them see the light. And I was, when I first started driving cross country, I was with this Vietnam vet. In '85, we're going to LA to, I don't know, we're going to Pennsylvania or something. Going across Texas, and it's ice on the highway. I think it was before you get to Sweetwater, because they had some ice a couple of years ago, about 40 miles, black ice. Can't really see it till you're on top of it. He's doing like 30 miles an hour. I think we were driving all the way from LA. So he says, "I'm going to turn it over to you." And he says, "Keep it at 30. So stupid me, I go, this guy don't know how. It was only probably about 40, 50 miles. But I'm thinking it's the whole state of Texas. So this guy don't know how big Texas is. So he went to sleep. I take it up to 35 miles an hour. And I start to, the wind caught my trailer or something, start to slide. Scared the shit out of you. So I left it at 30. And I tell guys, I says, "Hey, going to Wyoming at Elk Mountain, 20, 25 miles an hour." I left Huntsville. Started snowing. And I took it through the streets. I went about 8, with 9, 10 from the airport to the I-75. Yeah, I-75 there by Huntsville. About 8 or 9 miles, 10 miles. I was doing 25 miles an hour. Everybody slowed down about like 30. I'm going, there's one guy slid off the side of the, another mile and a half. There's another guy slid off the side of the road. Third one, a guy slid off the side of the road. There's a cop with his lights on. He's trying to help the guy or something. It's just like, you people just don't get it. You know, the surface gets slick. Take your driving test. I think even with a car, it says if weather conditions slow down 5 miles an hour. Well, the speed limit is like 55, 60, slow down 55. Use your head, man. You see a car or two within 5 minutes. I was coming in well, I think with that same guy, Mike, we're coming into Oklahoma, snowing, winter storm. First thing in the morning, we're coming into Oklahoma. I counted 14 trucks slid off back in 1985. Same thing. The guys, thank God again, the guys I was driving with is slowed down 10, 15 miles an hour. I'm doing 65, we're doing 50. And you got to tell the dispatcher, whether he likes it or not, hey, it's a snowstorm. The roads are treacherous. Now, what they're saying now, it's you don't have to drive if it's dangerous or if it's not safe. Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that. Now, the catch, I'm out there on a wing and a prayer half the time, but I've been with this truck over 14 years, and I got enough. Again, thank God, I got enough money to where I can, if they got to reschedule for a day or 2 or 3 later, I got enough food and enough money to last me to get over that hump. And they've been paying a little extra because of the inflation, so I'm not worried about it. So you know what? Let me use my judgment here. If it's okay, if the roadway is wet and slushy and messy, you can still do 40, 45 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour. And then sometimes you go, I left Huntsville and I went down to the 22 to go up to Memphis about 6 weeks ago. And night, the 22 is an interstate. I wasn't going to go down the local road because I said if it's the snow, guy comes in there. He said, I've been driving 38 years. I just called my wife. Which way you going on the 42? I think it is. He said she never seen more accidents. So they're already screwing up, and then which means the road is bad. And then you got to drive all night. And if it's snowing now, if it snows real hard for like 2 hours or 3 hours, and then the wind with the wind chill, it's like 20 degrees. That snow freezes, so it's not worth it. I've taken 10, 11 loads for this company. Fuck them. They don't give a shit. They got, everybody's just doing their job, But I dropped down. I wanted to I'm trying to make some money before Christmas and come back to the house. So I went ahead and I said, well, let me go. It's 150 miles out the way, about 120, 150 miles out the way. It's 2.5, 3 hours. It was overnight run. So like a 6-hour drive. So if it takes you 8 or 9, I'm used to doing that anyhow. So I said, just take it. I've been laying up for 3 or 4 days. Fuck it. Just roll on, and I hit 1 or 2 spots when I got on that interstate that were a little bit slick. And you drive, you're doing 45, 50. You keep going, and then 5, 10 miles, the wind changes or it stops or whatever. I was going through in Wyoming. It was 60-mile-an-hour plus, and they started with Livingston, and they stopped the highway. They closed the highway, route you through the city. It's a little town, but rush hour. I said, oh, fuck it. I said, fuck, there's one little truck stop, packed, everybody quit rolling. I says, well, let me see if there's another truck stop. You can't hardly get in this one anyhow. Or I'll just pull off to the side of the road or an exit. The wind quit. Well, it was maybe, didn't scare the shit out of you. I don't know. It diminished. I don't know. The mountains over there, you start a little different direction or something. Mother Nature's weird. Sometimes it just. So went through the town, took about a half hour or so. And I got out of town and got back on the highway. And I see across the highway going the other direction. Everybody rolling, all the trucks are rolling. So I said, what's up with this detour? But it must be for a reason. And I noticed, with another 5, 10, 15 minutes, and sure as shooting, the wind slowed down. It wasn't, you want to say 40, 50 miles an hour, but it wasn't no 65, 70 mile an hour wind. That'll fuck you up, man. So I said, oh, okay. So I found another truck stop after a while and pull in, grab another coffee, take a break. I said, go another 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours, kind of walk through. But when you're going through some bad weather, you look at the Weather Channel. Like I'm looking right now before I got on that there's a Arctic air coming down to Canada, to the Northeast, New York, Pennsylvania, is dropping down all the way down to like South Carolina. Oh, okay. So if you're going to, anywhere other than that, you should be okay. It'll be cold and all that. It might rain a little bit, but it's not that storm condition. So, but what I was going to say is if I'm looking for a load, I'm down south of Dallas or whatever, it's 70 degrees, 75 degrees, 79 degrees. Like, oh, shit, let me grab a load, Oh, this one's paying $3, $4 a mile, $5 a mile. Where's it going? You're going up to the Northeast. So the storm going to come down a little bit before it will deteriorate. And then it's going to be for probably a day and a half. And then with that wind, any moisture, it's slick as shit. So, and then dropping down 16. If you was in like let's say South Carolina or North Carolina or Georgia, around there, and you get a load going like to the Midwest to Nebraska, Iowa, Chicago, Ohio, you're going to go up that way and then cut over, and then the storm's coming this way. So you might hit the edge of it a little bit. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, but then you come out of it. If you really need the money, you get desperate and I can't wait. I can't wait. I gotta go. Okay, I understand. I've done the same thing, but I'm telling you what to look for at least. And then what they're saying now, they got an email with that overdrive. The drivers are not staying. These young guys come in. They got a brand new truck. They've got an automatic. They got the license for $60 or so, and they're talking shit. And their stupid girlfriend's going, "Oh yeah, you the man. You a trucker now. Yeah, blah 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 blah." Right. And they see the winter time, you see everybody in the summer, everybody and their brothers out here. Oh, I got the air conditioner on. I got the music going. I got my girlfriend with me. Da, 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 da. You a big shot. Yeah, lovely, lovely. I was going to paint on the back of my trailer. That's my trailer, my truck, and my. Telling DOT, is this your truck? Yeah, it's my truck. Do you, no? Do you lease it? I says no. It's my truck. I paid it off. Duh! I'm going to tell you what 3 times. What are you stupid? This is law enforcement. They haven't been out there that long either. Is this your trailer also? Yeah, that's my trailer. See, I get so fucking pissed because now I got a little bit of time and everything been paid off. I believe that's what you do. I mean, I started out back in the '80s driving for a company, paying my dues, getting my experience. They wouldn't let you drive. I went to Swift down in Long Beach. We require 5 years of experience. I had 4.5. Now I think you got a year, 2, 3 years experience to let you in. You're driving a newer truck and trailer, all that shit. But I went for the whole enchilada. This was my dream, my Mexican American dream. Anyhow, I did it, and sometimes by the skin of your teeth, but sometimes you got to borrow money. I borrowed money a lot of times. I don't give a fuck. I had my son. I had to get him out of that medical high school bureaucracy nightmare. Single dad and all that, and my mother helped me out get started. And I'm at an AA meeting in Portland or Klamath Falls, and I was talking to this guy, and I got started. Little by little, I was looking for a used truck to get my CDL, and they wanted $8,000 for a refresher course or some shit. 2 months. I can't do that. I got my license at 75 in New York. It's like 35, 5 1-hour classes, $35 a day. It's $150, and then I took the test, $35. But then they won't hire you without experience. So it's a progression over the years. I hate. That's my dad. Takes years to build a business. Now I'm seeing what he was talking about. And I used to be like those young ones, that I look at the magazines or the newspapers and at the truck stop. That's showing this clown, all smiley. He got his girlfriend or 2 kids. I see some of them take their kids in there. The kids love it. Okay, that's your kid. He's loving it. So I understand that. But the majority, well, half these guys don't speak English. I don't know where they're coming from, what they have planned or whatever. They got to eat. I understand that. They need some money. I understand that. But it's like if you're from the Middle East and you're so fucking smart, or you're from India and you're so fucking smart, why don't you go to fucking Wall Street? Become a CEO. Why don't you get the fuck out of the truck stop? Am I wrong? I got to turn the gun back to my own head. If I was that smart, I should maybe quit driving. It's physically almost killing me. But I got to the point. I wanted to see also, what does it take where you start making some money and without repairs? Or what I did, I bought a 1 million-mile truck. These guys just run it into the ground. The companies don't give a shit. And what they do is buy a new truck. And here comes asshole. I can afford this. Let me get into it. So I did. And I made for 2 months, first 2 months, I made 10 grand and 10 grand. So happy days are here again. And then the repairs started. Because they fix it up real nice at the dealer. When you take it for a ride or something, it's in good shape. And okay. The repairs are extensive. there goes half the trucking population. Oh, that's manual labor. Oh my God, I get my hands dirty and my pants dirty, and my mother's going to scold me. Yes, yes, son, she will because you got grease on your pants. Yes, go home, motherfucker. Go the fuck home. You know. So I seen a guy. I seen a guy about 2 months ago. He had some overalls. Man, come man, he was greased up, and he. I said, you don't want to hear nobody say nothing. He was he, he was up underneath his truck. That's the worst, And I was kind of laughing to myself, and because I do that. I happen to be fairly presentable right now, but motherfucker, how many times I've been like that, and ain't nobody say nothing. But it's and you don't want to hear nothing, So God bless us all. But my dad was a pencil pusher. My mother and the whole family. And after a while, it made me sick to my stomach. Are you afraid to get some dirt on you? Are you afraid? Now, the other side of the coin, I try to understand so I can learn that. How do these guys? I talked to a couple of guys years ago. I seen one guy had his own brand new big studio sleeper, brand new truck over there in London, Ohio. Guy rolls up when he went to get a coffee or something. I started talking to him for a few minutes on his way out. I said, hey, what? He says, oh, I've been out here for 30, 40, 50 years. Built his credit and all this, that, and the other, learned the business. Or maybe your buddies or somebody he's got the laptop. I started looking at that, the laptop with get the codes off the truck. And the newer ones are telling me they got 300 sensors. But if you can control it with a laptop, from $100 up to $3,000, $7,000 they're asking now for the industrial type. Whatever you can afford, you get that. You put the little disc, that program for your truck. You put it and the program comes up, and maybe it's got a search or browser, whatever. You say the red light or the amber light's blinking on and off, or it's on steady. You click on that, and it's going to do a check of the engine and all that, and comes back in a few seconds. It said it's this, or it's that, or this and that. Okay, so now you know what it is. That takes away the anxiety and having to crawl in and looking for something, see if you could figure it out. Okay, I agree with that. I'm pretty good on the some of the older guys. I don't touch a computer. I don't. It's not that hard. It's a system. You turn it on and you go to you do all this. You got your internet connection. It's not. You're not going to snap your fingers. You have to work your way up and learn what's needed, and a couple of bucks here, a couple of bucks there, and little by little you. Like I just started playing with this a couple of months ago, and I said, I want to do one of these podcasts. And I looked up at the top. I had already put that out of my mind. I don't look at it because I don't use it. It says live. I got the little camera. And I said, what the fuck? It's right here. I said, let me click on this. I said, let me try it. What the fuck? 1, 2, 3. I had to put a header, a time. I used to do book reports and reports in high school. It's kind of the same thing. You got to set it up and then click go, live. I said, oh shit. So I started talking. I can't stop talking. But it's a therapy. It's a release for me. Trying to help myself. And if I can help anybody else. And I just keep playing with this till you're never going to get it perfect. It's to me, it's not a perfect world. I used to try that idealism in this country where it's got to be perfect and it's going to cost you all kinds of money. Well, I'll take a used car instead of a new car, like that. But I'm learning too. That's a lot of time and effort. Uh, But compare that to the price. I'd rather buy a used pickup truck for $2,000 or $3,000, put a couple of thousand in it. So you into the same way with a truck. I've seen a couple old one, no motor, no tranny. You get $3,000, $4,000. You get a rebuilt motor, tranny. You have some guys put it in, and you put it in, whatever. Hey, you're up to 12, 14 grand. Hey, you own the thing. When you're talking about $200,000 in a 5-year warranty, it's going to take you 4 or 5 years just to pay it off, maybe 6 years. So you got to come up with more money each month. I can play around. I can take 4 or 5 days off. I was looking for a little safety valve with that air drive. Mother fucker! I stopped at 6 different places. They had to look it up. Da da da. They're not nice. They're not in a good mood or nothing. And we don't have it. I finally got on the internet. I found it. 1, 2, 3. It's like $5, $6. I sent it to my house. I didn't get home for a month, but I got it now for 120 pounds of pressure, just to release the air pressure from the tank so it doesn't blow everything up. And my air compressor is old, probably ready to change it out and rebuild it. So it don't pump up to 150 pounds. So that's what it is. It's a safety device. When the truck was new, it was designed when the truck was. You got to follow through on your thought process as to what makes this thing tick. Why is it there? Why is it not running? What will it take to make it run? Like there was I think yesterday I was thinking of something. Oh, my little heater I bought from Walmart for $25. It's made in China. That's all I could afford. All the others. I'm sorry, I got my American made one on now, but I think what I was taking a shower, I put it in the little shower room so I don't freeze. It's cold in there. So I was warming it up. Thing quit. Oh, what the fuck, man? All right. I'll order another one from Walmart. I gotta order some food from there anyhow. I got another little heater. I can afford it, thank God. And I move it and I unplug it and I turn it upside down, I think. When I was in the truck, I put it in my inverter to stay warm so I didn't have to run the motor. It's cheaper. So it's going on a constant speed, low or high. It didn't have a thermostat in there. I think I didn't like the noise or something. That was keeping me up. I wasn't used to it. And anyhow, I got a piece of tape. There's a little button on it. I think it quit before. I got on a bunch of top of some clothes, which is dangerous. But I look on the bottom. There's a little button there. So I pressed it. It quit. I hit the button and started up again. So what the fuck is this for? Oh, that's for if it tilts, if it gets off, if it's not on a flat surface. So uh, I got so much shit in my truck that I don't think there are any flat surfaces. But it's at an angle and it won't work like that. So I got a piece of tape and I put it over that button to keep it running. That's what happened. So anyhow, I guess it got hot. The warm has been a while. So we're here at the house. But anyhow, the tape fell off. I said, oh, well, thank God. I don't have to order it or pay it $25 to get a new one. And the other one's working just fine. So I'm blessed in that regard. But it's like I first went to quit working. My mind thought process quit working. I want to take a shower. Oh, fuck, I got it. I'm going to be cold. It bugs the fuck out of me. So this thing, it's only not even a year old. So now with that information, I go straight to, oh fuck, I get pissed. So I went ahead and took my shower, come out, and then I moved it and out of the way. And when that did, thank God, he's got a sense of humor or whatever. I turned it to the side and I saw that tape. I says, and I remembered the tape was loose. I says, oh, that's why it's not running. I went outside. I said, maybe we had some guys, when I first moved in, had some Mexican guys put some electrical. There's no electrical sockets in this room. So they put up a half-ass electrical outlet. But on the electrical connector, it's where you plug in the device. It's a little loose. I'd probably go in there with a screwdriver, tighten it up or something. Anyhow, I unplugged it and I'm playing with it and it came out. Another problem I need to fix. It worked out. But yeah, I had run outside. I said, maybe it's that socket in here is no good. Or I left it on probably 2 or 3 days running constantly. I'm trying to warm up. I says, maybe I burned out the wires. The 1927 house got original fucking wires. I think the original, like 90 years old. Still working, no problem. So the light came on, the light bulb came on. I says, hey, maybe it broke the circuit breaker outside. The electrical box is behind on the back of the house. So I finished cleaning up. I walked out around to the back. I said, it's a circuit breaker. You tripped the switch. So I flipped the switches, and it's been years since I fooled with that shit. But I just flipped them on to see if that this is a diagnostic process. And it came back in. I said I flipped all of them. The house, the kitchen lights working, the bathroom lights are still on working. So I seen that, and I said, let me try this heater on another in the living room on another socket, and it came right on. So I was happy. I still got to try this socket. It might be the socket still, but I think it was just a tape. Yeah. Anyhow, it's not a 1, 2, 3. When you're young, it's not like that. And if you're with a woman or trying to impress a woman or your buddies, you need to learn. You need to get better friends. I'm not saying go hang out with an old motherfucker. I'm not saying that. You do what you want. But when you're in such a fucking hurry, that's detrimental to yourself. And if there's two of you that's in such a hurry, you're probably both going to fuck each other up. Stay cool, calm, and collected. I'm here in El Paso. These Mexicans here, they're like Mexican jumping beans. Some of these guys know 1 out of a million. They're quiet, they're cool. Maybe they don't speak English. I just ran into a mechanic 3 or 4 days ago. He speak that broken English and Spanish. But I can't deal with that shit, man. But I'm watching. He's working on this guy's pickup truck, and he's like this, fooling with this, playing with this guy. He knows what he's doing. Oh, he goes to this. Okay, but it took him years to get to that point. He didn't start out. The guy's about 50. Has a little pickup truck. Got shit in the back. This other guy got shit in the middle. It takes all of this to keep the car running and all. It's not just this guy's got a beautiful little young white girl for a girlfriend. She come bump some cigarettes off me. I said, oh hell. You understand why the guy's in a hurry, but and it's a big but. We used to do this in LA. If you got a girlfriend, not the AA club, would she go to the junkyard with you? Because we're all mostly broke, and if you need a part, you go to the junkyard. You can't afford new shit, and you're trying to get you a girlfriend, and it's I got to but your buddies, would she go to the junkyard with you? The salvage, the recycling, whatever they call it, junkyard. I wasn't thinking about that. I'm trying to be Clark Kent. I'm Superman. See, to impress her so I can get something. Right? We're human. We're guys. Okay, that's the way it works. You have to pull yourself back out of that to some degree sometime. That later that evening or the next day or the weekend, the next time we're taking the girl out, and can I ask you a question? And she looks at it. You fall in love with it. You ain't even. Oh man, she's sweet and all this, and you hate to do it, but you got to. You don't want to. I'll do anything for you. That's a jackpot, right? And later, they make movies about this comedy and shit. But I thought you said you would do one. Yeah, but not that. I didn't think you were going to ask me to do. Okay, you get the picture. Like my ex, she went to the junkyard there in L.A. with me. I think once or twice. And that Bronx Tale, like, mafia guy, he's telling a younger guy, he's got the black girlfriend. He says, when you take her out on a date and you open the door for her, and then you come around to the driver's door, if she unlocks, I don't know why you're locking the door in the first place, but yeah, let's go back to the Bronx Tale with Robert De Niro's the bus driver, and Chaz Palmyra, whatever his name is. But he's telling the bar owner, he's telling the young guy, why would you lock the door in the first place? But anyhow, I'm being too real. So anyhow, the guy opens the door for the girl. She slides in, and then he goes around to the other. And while he's walking around the side, she reaches over and unlocks the door for him. Same thing, it's a test. Is a girl gonna? The door shouldn't have been locked. And I'm sorry, I got a problem with that. But in L.A., will you go to the junkyard with me? Don't even have to help, really. I guess at that point, we're talking. Are you crazy? And very few, very few. I had my high school girlfriend crawl underneath. I think we were looking for a place to make out, but I found I was underneath the '53 Chevy, and I think one of my parents was home. We couldn't make out inside, so Slick Willie here, he goes, he slide under the. God, I forgot all about that. Slide under the car. I was working on the drive shaft or something. I was replacing a U joint. That was my first U joint, something like that. So I got the cardboard out on it. She crawls under the car with me. Like I think I'm 16 and she's 15 or something. Hey, don't ask me, but we could make a movie about that. Anyhow, so maybe she spoiled me. I asked my dad, he was about 90, and I had the Cadillac over in El Paso, and I think I changed the alternator or something. And I says, hey, Dad, walk outside. His car's parked in front of his house. Walk outside. I want you to see what I do. Because he's always, I want you to be this and that, lawyer, or doctor, or some shit. And I said, I just want to show you what I do. What do I want to go out there for? I just want to show you what I do, right? Because you're always saying that I don't do nothing. I want to understand. I want you to just come here and look at it. Look at the mode. This is what I do. I'm going to explain to you. I think his ego was so big, or he's so obsessed in this direction. He finally walked over to the car with me. I got the hood up. And I says, look, and he's looking at like, okay, can I go now? Like, I want to hear some kind of reaction out of you, man. This was a choice when I was 14. My buddy was 14. He was from England. I think his stepdad or something was a mechanic. And his mother was always cool to me. You know, I'm like part Mexican, you know, Gutierrez. It's actually German, the origin, but I grew up here. I always thought I was my Mexican. I'm part Mexican, whatever. I'm not white, I'm not British like that. So I go to his mother was always good to me. So God bless. We were good friends for a long time, but his dad took us up, went to see Bobby Fuller at the Rendezvous. I fought the law. So I do, tribute to Buddy Holly and all that. And I think we're 15. The Beatles and the Stones, we we have to go up there. I think it's Friday night. I think he'd been working all fucking week, man. He didn't feel like driving. It's like back then, a 10-15 minute ride. There wasn't all that traffic lights and all that, but he didn't feel like doing it, buddy. My buddy over there begging him or something, the two of us, oh, please, sir, whatever, Otherwise, we got to hitchhike. But we got to walk down ugh, about 6 or 8 blocks to the next street where we could get a ride in that direction. That's what it came down to. So, anyhow, he's pissed off. All right, get in the fucking car. So he drives us up. He's doing fucking 100 miles an hour. But my buddy went to work for him and this other guy. They were. He got a job, in high school at 15 at a like a deli, make sandwiches and shit. It's right there by the army base. Anyhow, the guy 2 or 3 weeks later, I think it was the hell was it? 75 cents an hour back then, something like that. Anyhow, he comes back about 2 or 3 weeks later with a 38 Ford coupe, primered, kind of beat up a little bit. I mean, it wasn't a brand new Jay Leno car. And yeah, him and my other buddy, yeah, that's right. They had ridden around a little bit and fucked with it. And I think his dad helped him get it started with, I think, 40, $50. So I finally get to see it. He comes to pick me up. We're going to get some beer or something, chase the girls, whatever, go to a dance, whatever. We're going to start a band. So anyhow, comes. I think there was 2 girls. We took the other guy home. I think there was 2 girls about 10 miles away that we're going to go see. I think about a quarter beer, something, a 6-pack, some shit like that. So anyhow, we drive over there. I don't know. They weren't there. It was something. The mother was there. It was some shit. We were already drinking, I think. Anyhow, the fucking car, he goes to start it. The fucking carburetor catches fire. No, that's our other buddy was there. Yeah. Anyhow, he had a little jacket. He whips it off and putting the fire out with a jacket. It went out. Tried it again. Opened the carburetor. Opened the carburetor a little bit. Whatever. Tried again. Start it up. And fuck it. That's the way I learned it, man. I got to tell people. I got to put it out. This shit they got now is driving me nuts. Just, what the fuck, man? Let me spit on it just to bring you luck. Oh my God, you spit on my brand new car. You're 15, kid. Like you shouldn't even have a $30,000 car. Okay. With that, I get quick shift back to Meghan Markle and the 5 and Outnumbered and all these people that remind me of college people. I looked up Megyn Kelly she signed, I guess, a couple of years ago. I don't know if she got fired from that or whatever, but it says she signed a $69 million contract for 3 years. What the fuck world is this anymore? I've seen Diane Sawyer about 75, 76. She was a first woman, her and Barbara Walters. Anyhow, she was getting 7 million, 60 minutes or whatever she used to do. 7 mil. Holy moly, that was a lot of money back then, and it still is. And I'm seeing Diane Sawyer, like I forgot about her, and I see her again a couple of times. Like she was going to Rikers Island to try to help these, I guess, the inmates learn high school, finish their high school or some shit, which I respect. I respect her to the ends of the earth for that, and she's still good looking. She interviewed Sammy the Bull. She's a good looking woman, but anyhow, I'm wondering. I studied accounting. I'm into like how much stuff costs. I'm wondering since 70, that was 45 years ago. If she was on at 60 minutes or whatever it was that for, let's say 10 or 20 years. I think a good 20 years, maybe longer. Say 20 years times 7 mil, that's 145 mil in a 20 hour, not for her whole life, for a 20-year uh, contract or whatever. And then, another interview with some, I don't know, maybe she's not, but still, like we used to talk about that in New York back in the 70s. How much money does it take where you can, rock stars, movie stars, and all that, they make a ton, they end up broke or homeless 20, 30 years later. They fucked off their money, It says if you could become a movie star and make, I don't know what the going rate is now, maybe. Oh, Jim Carrey did 20 million. That was 25, 30 years ago. Let's say 50 million. Is 50 million and you're 25, 30 years old, just for an example. Is 50 million not enough where you never have to work again, invest wisely, or put your money in the bank and get, buy US government bonds or whatever, get a little 5 or 10% interest. That alone on 50 million. So maybe that's 50,000 or 500,000, half a million a year. Can't you party and have a nice Mercedes or Porsche and buy a nice house? Don't have to be a mansion. So I'm looking at Goldie Hawn. I guess they got a mansion north of LA or north of Santa Monica, right around there, with 7 mil or something. So she had some kids, her husband. Okay, I don't know what he's doing. It's like Nancy Pelosi. She's making what 175,000 a year from working as Speaker of the House, but they're living in a $17 million mansion because her husband's doing shit. Maybe insider trading. They were looking at her today, which I think they should look at all of them. She made a ton of money. I'm trying to. I just lost $170 today on Walmart. I'm like, how the fuck does she looks like a stupid fucking drunk, and I think that's what she is. But her and her husband, he's got to be a real winner. How, how 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 are you up in the around the both? I mean, you're talking 20, 30, 40, $50 million. They ain't no good looking movie stars or nothing. Nothing nowhere near that. I haven't looked up how much their net worth is, but I'm trying to get a reading on all this shit. How we going to solve these problems we got with the split in America and all that? What they say, the haves and the have-nots. But my mother was telling me that back in the 50s. I went to church when I'm 12. How much you getting for allowance to the other kids? I'm getting $5. Oh, we'll get $10. The white kids. All right. So I tell my dad, he says, I don't have to give you anything. Come on, Pop. I'm going to church. You know, he said, no, I'm not going to give $5. Back then, I mean, Coke was a nickel or 6 cents, and a popsicle ice cream was 5 or 6 cents. A little thing of peanuts is actually got a prize inside. I'm a kid, 12. I had a bicycle. I was paid for clothes, t-shirts, shirts. So we just had clothes, shirts. I mean, that was all. What do you need $5 for? Is the point he was trying to make, or when point blank, 12 years old. Why don't you get a job? Get a job after school. You used to throw the newspaper at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, $12 a week, something like seven. I can't remember. But I got my guitar with that back when I was 15. I went to work in a cleaners. I think it was 75 cents an hour, some shit like that. But I made $80 in a month, 4 or 5 weeks, and I quit. My buddy's selling a '53 Chevy for $80. Still got the car. Yeah, it was running. It was a little 3-speed. Everything was good. Kind of a weird paint job. It was kind of like almost purple, real dark, but in the sun it would like change colors just a hair. Maybe I had a custom paint job and I didn't even know it. Probably. I don't know. That was way back. I look at the new shit. These guys got money up the ass, man. You got the car to paint changes colors, and that's a new one at GM or whatever they got. Changes, but that costs you an arm and a leg, and you sure the hell going to know about it. This one back then, maybe I was drinking too much back then. I don't know. But I'm trying to kick this out to get some fucking feedback. If you're 15, tell me I'm a moron. I don't tell me I'm out of touch. I don't know. I already know that. But tell me, I seen two guys with a Chevy pickup in Huntsville, Alabama, but Petro Coleman. They're outside a truck stop. You guys got a 350. They were playing with the carburetor. It was an Edelbrock. And I said, let me ask you a question. I call them country boys, whatever. I says, I run down my shit real quick. And I says, if you're going to sell this truck to me right now, more or less, how much would you sell it for? This motherfucker telling me $2,000. Because I'm thinking anywhere else you go, it's going to be 3 or 4. Around here, they're probably pushing $5,000 for an old pickup truck like a '78 or something. Maybe he got it from his grandpa, his dad, or some shit. It's banged up, it's primered, it's running. Period. So, but I mean, let's not get carried away. I know how to work on carburetors. That's why I stepped in, looking to see what they were doing first of all, and if I could help, I helped a little bit. And they knew what they were doing. But I just want to know, bottom line, if I go to the ATM right now, or cut you a check, whatever. But I might take that drive back to El Paso. I don't know. That's what I'm looking for. But you said $2,000. I mean, are the white people reasonable, or I get so many they're walking around the truck stop with their head up the ass, and I go outside to smoke a cigarette, and they're getting in a $20,000 Jeep, all kinds of expensive cars that I can't afford. I had one guy when I first went over a couple of years ago. This guy's about 40, standing outside smoking a cigarette. I'm a little greased up. I look tired, whatever. Are you okay, man? Well, you had to come over and start talking to me. I don't think he was gay. I'm thinking he was like a Christian or something. You want me to take you to Walmart to get some groceries or something or whatever. I would like that. I would love that. Talk to somebody, give you a few bucks for gas. What the fuck? It doesn't seem like anybody's approachable. I mean, I change my clothes, do the laundry, brush my teeth. I'm at the truck stop. I'm a trucker. I'm a long haul trucker. I'm 72. See the white hair? What the fuck what are you so afraid of? I don't get it. I just want to put that message out to people that just say you're okay, man. I said, nah, a guy just blew up my truck in the parking lot. Okay, it's going to be, you know, a month long project to call the insurance company and all that. You can't help me, okay, but you know, ask me if I want a coffee, or I might buy you a coffee. But fucking ask. If the problem's too big, then we're not. I'm not trying to hustle you. You're not going to hustle me. But I mean, let's help each other if we can. That's why I say, no, I help everybody. No, you can't help everybody. I've been out there too long. Don't hand me that shit. Sometimes you need a garage with the heavy duty bolted down tools. You know, sometimes it's just $5 or $10. You could walk in the store, buy a little bottle of oil, gallon of oil or something. You're talking 15, $20, whatever. Hey, if you're trying to help I gave a guy with $2, I think he was telling me. I gave him $10 the other day. He's pulling my leg. I walk out, the real nice guy. He was listening to me, and he was at Fort Worth, and he says, my car ran out of gas. I'm way. That's when I know I'm way too tired. He pulled the wool right over my eyes, and he's standing by a little, I don't know, a Kia, blue Kia, whatever. That wasn't his because he walked off in the other direction. I'm gonna maybe be like one of these other guys that come back this next month. If I run into you, if I happen to bump into you, hey motherfucker, you know, I'm not gonna worry about $10. It's just he needs to get. He ran out of gas. It's a hustle, gas price. I ran out of gas. You've been sitting in the truck stop. He listened to me for about an hour. Looked like he was very comfortable there. There's always somebody there that's either trying to hustle or they're trying to get somewhere. So that ain't nothing new. But he looked presentable. I don't see why he didn't look like a drug addict. I don't see why. I mean, he looked like a working guy, really, about 24. Uh, yeah, again, me, it's like, hey man, why don't you go ask that guy with that $200,000 truck over there? Do I look like I got money? I was telling him, I mean, I got a couple of bucks to eat on, and how much shit costs me that I have to pay for. I don't call the company, man. You know, I got to pay for it. So, and you can do the same. I'll show you. I help you. I don't give a shit. They have truck driving classes. You go to one of these, well, to Phoenix, sign up with Swift. Call them first. They're going to tell you what you need to do. Get your license. They'll pay for a bus or a plane over there. They'll train you. Once you got the license, do a background, your driving record for the last 3 years. Call the DMV. Got a smartphone in your hand. Google it. DMV Fort Worth. Going to tell you exactly. That's the way they did to me. So I'm doing it back to them. Like, it's what you need, man. $60. If you can't get $60 and you're not a fucking, even a drug addict can get more than that nowadays. That I know. So I'm trying to figure out where you coming from. Like I say, the Mexican guy over here, that mechanic, but I can't deal with that. But how you say car gas? It need a gas I can't. I can't. That communication is so barbaric. I mean, if I'm stuck on the side of the road, man, and I'm stuck, and he got something, he got a gallon of gas, I'm gonna give him $10. Fuck it, you get the idea. But to work, I'm getting into great detail with my motor on my '68 Cadillac. You better speak perfect Spanish slowly so I can understand it. I'm looking at the repair book. I mean, you need to speak English. I maybe he knows what he's doing, but does he? He was too quick. He was too. I'm a mechanic. I work on diesel also. I said, well, I'm learning diesel mechanics. I got a truck. Oh, I know diesel now. You're telling me right away when I first meet you, everything I say, you know everything about it. I start getting suspicious. But I'm sure he could do a lot. I was watching him for a minute, the way he carried himself. But I told him, I'm going to try to. I'll call you maybe in a couple of months. I want to try to get some serious money. This guy, we're in El Paso. Maybe he's going to ask for 40, 60, 80. I had a couple of guys 12, 14, 15 years ago. I'd ask them for 60, $80 an hour, something like that. That's not too bad. If you're stuck. But that's the rate. Then X times how many hours. That's when it starts getting critical. Is this guy just bullshitting and he knows a couple of words in English? Me, mechanic. If I tell you what to do, can you go out there and do it? And then you got to tell me how long it's going to take you to do it. And what parts do you need? It gets involved. So the same way I was working in California, in LA, Newport Beach, I was going to try to hustle some side work at this gas station. I'm making $3 an hour. This guy comes in trying to replace his windshield, and he leaves the whole thing to me. And I get a fucking windshield delivered to the gas station. And I think I had done one on a '78 Buick for myself, and I got away with it. But I'm cool, calm, and collected. With a screwdriver, took off that black seal around it. Anyhow, it comes back. I didn't have a chance. It got so fucking busy in the gas station. Got it parked on the side. The guy comes back quick, like the next day, I think. He probably needed to go. So I hadn't got it installed yet. I think he had paid me for the windshield. I didn't have no money. And I promised him that I'd have it by the next day. It should take a couple of hours, but I'm working at the gas station. I got to free up my time to wait till I get off, whatever. Oh, so he leaves the car there. And I fucked up. The next day he come back and I hadn't gotten to it, man. So he got pissed off. But you said, like that. I think he paid me for the windshield. It was $40, something where he had the windshield. He gave me some upfront money, like 20, $30, something like that. So I want my money back. So I had it, so I gave it back. I said, here, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm just busy as fuck. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know, maybe he had the cops wrote him a ticket or something. Had to get it done. Whatever. Anyhow. So, it's a whole involved thing. I know, too, that's all I hear. Maybe they're bullshitting me, but when they go to the dealer or repair shop, mom and pop, I gotten fucked over at mom and pop places, too. I don't know. Maybe they just don't like my face or something. Whatever. But guys always coming off like they got the perfect answer. I don't believe in it. But anyhow, that's enough out of me. I'm going to go get something to eat and warm up a little bit. I'll try this again later. Well, thanks if you're listening, and God bless.